So the question is, can a beginner use army painter basing materials? So I have a few items here that I purchased from my local game store. Here's a pack of chirps. There's 77, 12 large, 35 medium, and 30 small. And I got myself some tweezers set. I've been meaning to get some quite a while ago, so I think these will come in handy. And some battlefield rocks. And I don't remember the pricing on all of these, but I'll put them down below. Then also some battleground material. Just trying to test some of this stuff out. And then some base and glue that Army Painter provides. Again, the hobby store that I got it from here locally is selling all this stuff half price. So I kind of went a little crazy and picked up a good amount. So let's pop these tweezers open and check them out, see how small and how sharp they are. And mainly I got them to put bits together onto small areas because I kind of have fat fingers, so I know these will come in handy when I need to glue something on that is just small, like pouches or weapons. But if you can see, one of them is kind of flat and a little wide, and then the other one is pretty sharp. So today, the mini that I'm going to base is my actually kind of finished very first Space Marine that I kit bashed. Call him the Space Cowboy. You might have seen him on my stories. But I kind of feel like he's my most complete Space Marine. So let's check out this glue. I wanted to see kind of what kind of consistency it was. And if you see here, it's kind of whitish, and honestly, it feels like Elmer's glue. So I think it might dry a little bit faster, but definitely Elmer's glue. And so let's see what these chirps look like. They're really nice shape. They do kind of fray off if you're not gentle with them, but it looks like they just have some kind of sticky material at the bottom. But yeah, we'll try them out here in a minute. We might need to glue them, but they are nice, and I kind of picked more of a tealish type of base grass chirps. And these battle rocks, basically, I mean, honestly, all this is just cork from like a wine bottle. And again, I got these half price, but I'm also just assuming that you can get some corks laying around and break them up, grind them up to smaller pieces, and I think they will do just fine. So I'm just taking a few out of here to kind of pick up, kind of have some high rocks on the base, and then I'll use some of the battlefield material to finish off the rest. So let's just dab a little bit of this glue. And again, I've never used this stuff before, so I'm just seeing how user-friendly this is. I'm using a brush that I don't care about, and I'm just going to spread it out in a small area and just kind of lay these on there and see if I can just get them spaced out in kind of a natural looking way. So the glue doesn't dry like super glue. It does take a little time, so you can kind of move the rocks, the cork around to make, to kind of shape the area you're trying to build up. And then you can move them around on the base however you want. Now, as far as I know, I'm pretty sure that that this glue does dry clear. So it's okay if you get it on top of a surface. I think in the end it'll still, it won't stay white. It'll just dry clear. So here I'm just adjusting a little bit using my fancy dandy army painter, tweezers. And so now let's go ahead and see how this battlefield material works. It feels kind of like chia seeds if you've ever 8 chia seeds or handled chia seeds. Just, it might be some type of a seed. So I recommend having some kind of a lid or something that you can pour this basing material onto your base over, so that then you can just kind of collect anything and not have to throw a bunch away, and you can just put it back in your container. Yeah, so let's check this battlefield turf out. Again, you can see it's kind of just has some glue. I don't think it's very sticky. Sorry, I'm kind of off screen here, but I'm just going to try to set it and see if I can press it down and see if it doesn't stay very well. So I think probably the best thing to do is add glue. So I'm just going to put another glob on here and spread it around. You can kind of go heavy on the glue as long as you get the whole base covered. So I'm trying to get it into every nook and cranny. And just spreading it out on the base nicely, trying not to go over the edge, just staying on top. Alright, well, I'm going to put a little bit of basing material just to see what it sticks like. But as you can see, it kind of nicely adheres lightly. Of course, you can move it around later. But yeah, I mean, that's really all there is to it. I forgot my chirp, so I'm going to make a little space here. Add a little bit of glue. Make a little bit more space here. I got a little ahead of myself, so let's dab a little bit more glue and just throw our turf on top of that. It should be pretty, like I said, this is pretty easy stuff. And again, I'm a beginner. This is my first base ever. But even there, it's starting to look pretty nice. So let's go ahead and cover the back of the base and kind of spread the glue around. And I mean, as you can see, this isn't anything technical, this isn't anything difficult. I am trying to be careful not to get the glue over the edge, just keeping it on top of the base. And if you do run over the edge, just wipe it. But then I just pour a little bit of this battlefield base stones onto the glue, and it sticks really nicely. I did notice that the edges of the top of the base don't quite get covered up, so I'm gonna push some of these little loose stones back on top and flatten them out, and wipe anything from the side that I don't need. Kind of move a few of them around, and it's pretty easy to move them around. Like I said, there's a good amount of drying time for this glue, so it does make it nice to be able to kind of play around with it and set things how I like. And anytime you do have like a hole, I'm sorry, I'm off the screen here, a gaping hole, I just dabble a little glue, spread it around, and it's pretty easy. I'm sorry, I'm completely off the screen. And then just collect some of the stones that you got at the bottom of your lid and throw it on top. So there's a few spots in here that I definitely got to go back over. So I'm going to take the time right now. But as you can see, I mean, that's good. It's already looking great. But on the edges there. It can definitely use some more glue and get some more rocks pushed up on it. I'm sure there's an easier way, so if you guys know of any tricks or tips on how to do this, let me know, and I would love to use those in my next basing model. But yeah, just add a little bit more, and glue and a little bit goes a long ways on any spot that you see visible on top of the base. Wipe anything you want off the side, and just go ahead and pour on a few more stones, press them down, and just like that. I mean, it's pretty easy. You can already see we got kind of a desert landscape going on. I'm just going to do a couple more spots. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy, nothing technical. This is something I think anyone can do in a very short amount of time. And it's easy to clean up too. Once you do get some on the side, you can just push them back onto the base and just wipe it off. Yeah, so probably going to do another spot here. But in total, this really hasn't taken me a whole lot of time. So if you're doing a bunch of models together, I think that this can save some time in having to do any crazy painting, or I mean, there's so many different techniques on how to base a model. So I just wanted to try this route and kind of review some of Army Painter's products. And I'm pretty sure that this stuff, after you glue it, you can do that before you finish painting your model. And yeah, I mean, just like that, you can see it was easy, it looks nice. And you can spray paint over this and then paint over it if you want to. I kind of like the scenery as is, just like that. And so yeah, this is just a few of the things that I ended up buying from Army Painter to try out and see if a beginner can do it. So if you guys like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I will make a next one here shortly. Probably something about kit bashing orcs and magnetizing them. Sweet. I really appreciate you guys liking and giving me any feedback on what I'm doing. If you guys have any tips, I'd love to hear those too.